What is up, everyone? So, I just left work maybe a few hours ago. That's why I kind of look a little disheveled. As you can obviously tell from the lighting in here, things are looking a little bit different. Simply put, I am making a humongous leap of faith here. If you look back into my older videos, I have been basically hyper obsessed with trying to become a professional wrestler. I have footage of like myself from like years ago, like maybe almost 20 years ago, just trying to get in on his action. And in 2020, I I did it. I pretty much did it. I was in Reality of Wrestling in 2020, and I was doing conditioning. Then COVID happened, and my cousin got tired of me living at her place, so I found myself basically having to sort of come back to Georgia. That's essentially kind of how the weekly vlog started. The weekly vlog started because I wanted to keep my YouTube channel active to just sort of like fight the depression that came with COVID happening and me trying to become a professional wrestler, and that's sort of like not going the way that I needed to go. Um, in any case, though, the date, by the way, is July 9th. And I'm bringing that up because I'm going to cue this for the following Monday because I'm going to most likely be on the road tomorrow. So I'm going to cue this up to show up tomorrow because I want to kind of be steady and be stable with my uploads. So there's that. You know. But another thing too is that but here's the thing. I was actually supposed to be like my last day at my job was actually 2 days ago on the 7th, because I go over to my manager maybe like a good month or so in advance, and I say, hey, I'm leaving Georgia. I do want to work at another Olive Garden in Texas, and can you help me get a transfer? Manager says sure, but it's clearly a busy day, so I'm guessing, like there was a little bit of it was a busy day, so I'm guessing he never really got around to it or whatever. So I want to say maybe a couple of weeks earlier, a couple of weeks after, like maybe a week or so after that or whatever. I'm just sort of letting him know, hey, as I was doing a follow up, is there a way you can like give me some information on the transfer? He says, oh, you're gonna have to give me the phone number again. Give me no problem. Give him the information again. And once again, it's a busy day. I work weekends, so whenever I am capable of physically seeing him, it's probably going to be on a busy day because the weekends are fairly busy. So it's just, it was just this, like, I want to say I did everything right because I kept, I kept pressing, you know what I'm saying? I even called up the other Olive Garden to let them know, hey, I'm going to be transferring over pretty soon, so she just basically told me, hey, let me know when you're here in Texas, we'll get that squared away and whatever. I like to think that, I mean, that's what she said, you know what I'm saying? So I like to think that things are legitimate in that regard. But it's just the sheer fact that, like, I went through the proper channels. I specified the 8th. I said the 8th. And I checked my schedule. And I'm working both the 8th and the 9th. So whoever was doing scheduling didn't get the memo that I was leaving that I was intending to leave on the 8th. Thankfully, nobody's expecting me in any regards. Nothing is actually, nobody's expecting me in any regard. Nothing is actually me not leaving on that day isn't like any strikes against me in any situation except for my own personal expectations, because granted, I mean, like, outside of my own personal expectations, nothing really bad happened. As a matter of fact, there's a silver lining to this because my final check has 2 more days on it than it would have, because I only work like maybe 3 days a week, so my final check was only going to be like one day. So, but I worked, so 3 days, yay. So I'm expecting a little bit of money coming to me the following week, but I'm still kind of frustrated because of the fact that I did everything that I was supposed to do in this regard, and the powers that be basically didn't necessarily provide as well as they wanted to. So that is a little stressful. In any case, though, um, if things look the way that I expected they're looking, I might be, you know, working when I get to Texas. As far as getting a place is concerned, that's a completely other story because I try to get a place set up like around the time that I told my manager about me leaving on the 8th. I try to get a place set up. They basically like they like I was initially put on a waiting list and then told that I didn't make enough. Then I went to another place and they told me I didn't make enough. And I went to another place and basically they were looking for somebody who was physically in the area to come check it out because those were like looking to get somebody into that place that day. And I'm like, I can't do that because I'm asking a month in advance. So it's a lot of me just trying to do the right thing, and it's just like getting thrown into my face. And I'm really just trying to kind of get the situation. I'm trying to get the situation down to whereas like I can just get some stuff like put together, and it just feels like whatever it just feels like powers that be is denying me this. So I'm expecting to go to Texas with hopefully a job, but probably not a place. At least not a place set in stone yet. I'm probably gonna get one after I get the job, but it's just simply a matter of when and where. So there's that. I'm just like so at this point right now. I'm just like I'm going with my gut. Like I said, a humongous leap of faith here because I'm doing this all to just be closer to the place where I've been wanting to get trained at for like the past decade. So there's that. Whew boy. I can't really talk too much about like politics or any other lingering issues or anything like that. So I'm just gonna leave it here. So you know, I just hope that this isn't my last weekly vlog because I want to survive the trip to Texas. You know what I'm saying? And there's that. I got a lot of other stuff. I'm saying, and I'm keep saying, and there's that, and then, oh man, I love catchphrases. But yeah, I took a couple of pictures with like maybe two of my coworkers that I was working with. I wanted to take a picture with like a few more coworkers, but it was a busy shift and I was the only one leaving. Everybody else was still working. So the last thing I wanted to do is just stop them from working and be like, hey, can I take a picture with you guys before I go? Nah, I don't want to do that. There was one person in particular who I wanted to take a picture with because we were like best buds since like my first day there. And, they're like really shy. So they're like, nah, I want to take a picture. So I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Every single time I hear a British accent, I'm going to think of you from now on. Because I never thought I would meet a British person in person before. So that's cool. I'm ready to just go ahead and get this trip over with. But I'm also ready to get a place when I get there. So now, because when I get there now, I mean, obviously the situation is going to be better. The silver lining is that I'm going to be in the area. So like now I can physically look for places to go to when I start working. To actively like go to instead of like just calling over there because I don't know the neighborhood, I don't know the situations, I don't know the areas, I don't know anything. All I know is basic stuff like that. So there's I want to say wish me luck, just let's make this happen. Like I said, it's a gigantic, huge leap of faith. This is quite possibly the biggest, the biggest plunges I've ever taken. So I just hope I don't drown in it. Y'all be easy. Love, peace, and happiness to every single person out there, and we'll talk soon.